Looking for Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins with fast delivery? IG Vault has the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 6% off your order. So what's up everybody, it's Duke back here from sportsgamers.com. In today's Madden 21 tip video, I want to discuss the most popular coverage defense in the game right now, kind of show you guys how most people use it, but then also show you guys a way that you can counter it, when someone's using it against you. So the defense is the nickel 3-5 wide. It's the cover 4 show 2. I've talked about this coverage on the channel before. It's essentially a match coverage defense from zone. If you're not familiar with it, match coverage this year is almost like a cross between man and zone. If you guys play basketball, it's almost like a matchup zone in basketball. But essentially, it's going to cover a lot of the popular meta routes. Concept's very good, and to run it, you want your zone drops on default, because if you turn them on, they'll actually cancel the zone or the match coverage out. You want your auto flip on. So I'm using the Giants playbook on defense, but any playbook with 3-5 wide will work. A lot of people like 4-6 because you can come out of nickel 3-5 normal, sub all the safeties in a linebacker, and then you can audible down. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to stay in the Giants, and the play, like I said, is going to be the cover 4 show 2. Now, I'm going to show you guys how you can actually counter it from shotgun bunch. Shotgun bunch is in a ton of playbooks. But this is a specific defense that many people will use literally against shotgun bunch just because it does a great job against it. Now, the play I'm going to show you guys how to counter it, I'm actually going to show you guys how most people use to stop it and then show you how to counter, is the bench pivot, one of the most popular plays in the game. So we're going to first move the ball back, give us some room to work with. We're always going to want the bunch on the wide side of the field. But before we get too far into the video, I just want to remind you guys, if you're enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. It does help me out as a creator a lot. Also, if you're looking to become better at Madden 21, check out sportsgamers.com. That's where I put my free, tips, but also I have my premium tips, my ebooks, my offensive and defensive schemes, my weekly Madden Vault. I have all that for sale on gamers.com. So we're going to go ahead and just run the standard setup that most people will use and show you guys how this defense really works, and then show you how to counter it too. So what most people are going to do is they're going to go ahead and put the safety on the bunch side into a deep half. The reason for this is it prevents bomb plays. Then people will either mostly hook zone the outside linebacker that's blitzing, or sometimes man him up on the tight end, spread the D-line out, and then just use this guy in the 3 rec. You could also, sometimes you could put the safety over here in an inside third if you wanted, but this is generally what people will do, and it's a really tough defense, because what ends up happening, as you guys can see here, is all your standard reads are pretty much covered. As you guys can see here, there's nothing open. You end up throwing a pick. And if you use this defense with some D-line abilities or a good defense line for pass rushing, you'll get some pressure too, but the coverage is just out of this world. So what happens is the deep zone over here, he's going to essentially take the corner routes that most people use from the bunch, the most popular setups. He's going to take it pretty easily. That's not open. This guy in the quarter flat, he's going to take the guy that's hitting the flat. Safety's over the top for any streaks or whatever. But then over here, this player is actually press cover. He gets pressed, but he's actually matched by that corner as well. And then, you do have the quarter flat on this side, which if someone hits the flat, like the running back or maybe a drag came over the middle to the left flat, he would guard that. But if not, he almost just drops back underneath, as he does here, kind of like a hook zone. And then this would be the user who would just take away, anything over the middle. So, as you guys can see, this is a very, 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 very solid defense. But it can be beat. It definitely can be beat. So let's show you guys how we could look to attack this defense from the same play on offense. So I actually spoke about this in length at the Madden Vault at sportsgamers.com recently. If you guys want to check that out, we have a full seminar on that. But I'm just going to give you one sample, a little preview, the type of premium information that we offer in the Madden Vault. It's $12.99 a month. It's very, very good value. But here's a quick example of how you could beat it very easily. So we're going to do the same thing on defense. You guys can see here, same exact setup. And I'm just going to go ahead and put my slot receiver on a post, which you can do that with either Hot Route Master or then a Route Slot Apprentice. And I'm going to drag my receiver over here on the left Again, making sure the bunch is on the wide side. Final step is we're just going to motion this player that's on this little flat route out, snap the ball after he takes about 2 to 3 steps. So when you motion him out, he's actually going to get to the flat before that quarter flat can guard him. And it's just going to be easy, quick pass. So when you do this, you can count on, a good minimum 5, 6, 7 yards, but sometimes more. Like here, you guys can see we turned the ball upfield, and we were able to pick up maybe 12 to 13. So that's going to be there every single time for an easy gain. Now, that's not the only option, though. So let's go ahead and look at the same setup defensively. And another thing we can do. So same setup on offense too. Post, drag, and then we just do the motion flat, basically. So let's say that they take that away. Now we're going to look to the middle of the field because as you guys can see here, the post is going to pretty much be, it's going to get matched, but especially if you have a receiver here of speed and the route running threshold, which is 90 plus, he's going to win that route every single time. He's never going to really get covered, and that's going to be there. So we can just wait for him to get open on the sideline, and if they user that, then that's why we have, like I said, either the flat or also the drag route. But this is the second key route we can hit. Now, the other thing a lot of people will do is they'll go ahead and put a playmaker receiver here as the lone receiver in the bunch, so that if they don't really have another read open, they'll just playmaker the guy on the drag quickly to the other side, and that'll be a 5, 10 plus yard play. Now, there still is more you can do with this specific play to beat this defense. One of the very easiest things I like to do, especially with a good receiving back, is to do the same thing except for just put my running back on an option route and then streak the guy that's normally I put on the drag. So still post, option route, streak. And then we do the motion of the flat. So what happens is because this is match coverage, this basically just turns into an out route every single time against man because, the quarter flat is going to match that guy that's on the option route, and that's going to essentially be more or less man coverage, right? So the option route will be an out route every time. And, if you have a good receiving back here, that's going to be open every play. They're not going to be able to guard that. I could do this each and every time very easily. And then as you guys can see here, also, if you get a good release, it's not going to happen every time. But if you do get a good release when you streak the lone bunch receiver, we did have a step or two here. That definitely could have been a touchdown. So there are multiple things you can do to attack this defense when you see someone running it on you. It does do an amazing job against the meta setups that, really everybody tries to run. But with things like motion flats, option routes, posts, the middle of the field is big to attack. You got to give the user, though, because he's taking the middle, you got to give the user more than one route to have to account for. And that's what these setups are really going to allow. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tip. We're out of here. I'll see you all next time.